As Mojtaba Khamenei tightens control over the Gulf front, reports emerge of over 100 U.S. troops injured, leaving Trump visibly rattled. Just a day after Trump's warning, Iran strikes again, this time targeting a U.S. diplomatic facility in an Arab nation. Rejecting Trump's optimism, Iran ramps up its offensive, proving the conflict is far from over. Despite deploying hundreds of air assets, Washington struggles to contain Iran's unrelenting wave of strikes. Iranian forces unleashed coordinated strikes on U.S.-linked installations across several Middle Eastern fronts, dealing heavy blows and signaling a widening arena of confrontation. Under the leadership of Mojtaba Khamenei, the IRGC initiated what analysts describe as the most intense and destructive phase of strikes since the conflict began. According to the Washington Post, a drone struck a U.S. diplomatic compound near Baghdad International Airport on March 10, reigniting fears of a deeper escalation. Reports indicate at least 6 drones were launched toward the U.S. compound, with one making direct impact near a guard tower and causing limited structural damage. As the drones approached, U.S. security staff reportedly ordered all personnel to duck and cover, highlighting the immediacy and intensity of the threat. The Washington Post cited intelligence sources suggesting that the pro-Tehran group, Islamic Resistance in Iraq, is suspected to have orchestrated the attack. The strike was part of a rising series of Iranian offensives targeting U.S. military bases and diplomatic sites throughout Iraq. Notably, the attack occurred just one day after the U.S. president announced that the war was nearing an end, a claim that now appears premature. In a pointed rebuttal, Iran's military leadership declared that it would be Tehran, not Washington, that decides when this war truly ends. The Pentagon announced on March 10 that roughly 140 U.S. troops have been wounded since the beginning of the ongoing war, underscoring the rising human cost of the conflict. Pentagon chief spokesperson, Sean Parnell said, "Since the start of Operation Epic Fury, approximately 140 U.S. service members have been wounded over 10 days of sustained attacks. 8 seriously wounded service members were receiving the highest level of medical care. We are still assessing the full range of injuries that our forces have sustained." Iranian retaliatory strikes have reportedly killed at least 8 U.S. troops across multiple locations in the Middle East, marking a deadly escalation in the ongoing confrontation. Iran's coordinated attacks have extended beyond U.S. bases and missions, striking airports, hotels, and vital oil infrastructure belonging to American-aligned Arab nations. On March 9, Donald Trump asserted that the war would soon come to an end, yet warned that if Iran reignited hostilities, it would face a far more severe U.S. response.
Doing all of these things, we're achieving major strides toward completing our military objective. And some people could say they're pretty well complete. We've wiped every single force in Iran out very completely. Most of Iran's naval power has been sunk. It's on the bottom of the sea. It's almost 50 ships. I was just notified it's 51 ships. I didn't know they had that many. Didn't last very long. And these are fighting vessels. They're meant to fight, but they're not meant to fight against us. We continue to target Iran's drone and missile capabilities. Their drones are way down. Their drone manufacturing's been hit starting today. We know all of the places they manufacture the drones, and they're being hit one after another. Their missile capability is down to about 10%, maybe less. We're also hitting where they make missiles and where they deliver missiles. We've struck over 5,000 targets to date, some of them very major targets, and we've left some of the most important targets for later in case we need to do it. If we hit them, it's going to take many years for them to be rebuilt. Iran's a very powerful country. They were going to take over the Middle East. If we did not hit them, they were going to take over the Middle East. They had thousands and thousands since their last hit. They had thousands and thousands of missiles and everything else. Most are now destroyed. But they were going to take over the Middle East. Those weapons were aimed at Middle Eastern countries that had nothing to do with this. They were going to take over the Middle East, and they were going to try and destroy Israel. So we stopped it with good timing, and we're very proud to be involved in this, and it's going to be ended soon. And if it starts up again, they'll be hit even harder. Thank you very much for being here. Go ahead. Any questions?
Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Do you approve of Iran's new supreme leader? And secondly, can you tell us more about your call with Russian President Vladimir Putin today?
Yes.
What did you discuss?
Yes, I had a very good call with President Putin. We had a lot of people on the line from our side, from his side. We were talking about Ukraine, which is just a never-ending fight. And look, there's tremendous hatred between President Putin and President Zelensky. They can't seem to get it together. But I think it was a positive call on that subject. And we obviously talked then about the Middle East. And he wants to be helpful. I said, you could be more helpful by getting the Ukraine-Russia war over with. That would be more helpful. But we had a very good talk, and he wants to be very constructive. Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. On Iran, you called it an excursion. You said it would be over soon. Are you thinking this week it will be over?
No,
Are you talking
but soon.
about days?
I think soon.
Okay, and with respect
Very
to...
soon. Look, everything they have is gone, including their leadership. In fact, there are two levels of leadership, and even actually, as it turns out, more than that. But two levels of leadership are gone. Most people have never even heard about the leaders that they're talking about. So it's obviously been very, very powerful, very effective.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.